Hi there, Falcons. Welcome to the OWL project that we have here. And you will note that it consists of three parts. Part one would be coloring the owl, that's worth 12 marks. Part two would be answering the essential questions, worth 10 marks. And then part three would be the owl pellet dissection, worth 98 marks. So, how is this? So, let's deal with part one. And it's what you have on Google Classroom, part one. So you're asked to color the owl. So let me make that bigger. So it says here, color the owl, use Google Slides, insert and format options to transform this picture. No cut and paste from the internet. I want you to draw a good background, write your name and homeroom, dress it up. 2 marks for each effect, or a maximum of 12 marks for part one. So this is what you're going to concentrate on, right? Although I did give my own version of the new owl, right? So how did I put a color in this? So if I have this, for instance, again, it says insert, use Google Slides, insert or format options. So when I click into insert here, what do I have here? Insert a variety of options here. Like you can insert a text box. So that's something that you can easily do, right? Insert a text box and then write your name, your homeroom. That is what happened here. I use insert text box, right? So that's cleared up. So at least you know what to do with the insert function there for your name and homeroom. Now, you might wonder, how would I color this, right? So if you are here, and I kind of tilted it to the side, right? So you can go into format, and then under format, you get to see all the different options here, right? So where could that be? But you need to click on the object to be formatted so that you can get the menus there. So format options, right? And then what happens on the side? Can you see that? So recolor. So I can have different options here. So I could just change it to other colors that I would want. I can even have it like a gold and yellow here, right? So although I did use on my example the blue color, so it's your call. So I'm just demonstrating it, right? So once you have this, maybe on top you can see the cross. That means you could just tilt it, right? So you can do that. Now it's different if I click on this, right? And then you want to adjust the size if you want to make it bigger, right? Or smaller as the case may be. So just be very careful. This one would allow you to just tilt it to the side, right? So this is how I was able to get the different color, right? The format options. And then if you wanted to just draw a branch where your owl is perched upon, then what you can do would be to again go to insert, and that can be different shapes, right? It can be, or different lines for the branches. So if you want to kind of have a free hand on drawing the line, you can click on the scribble, which I did, and then you can just do that. Maybe it's your call, right? So this is how I can just do that. You might think, oh, it's really not thick for your own taste. So you can again go to the different editing tools here, right? So you could adjust the line color, right? So maybe you like the color to be kind of like if you want this as this one, I'll make it thick maybe up to 12, right? So you can have that. Maybe it's a young branch, maybe instead of a brown, maybe you can use green if you want, or If you want a bright neon green, you can have that. Why not? So this is essentially how I was able to just optimize the use of the editing tools here, right? So I'm just giving you an idea on how to proceed with this. And you might wonder about, oh, how about this? So again, you can always go and explore. Let's say, go to insert, that can be on the shape, right? So the shape is just like this. I think I use that. The shape here like a Pac-Man, right? So you can just do that, right? So you can just insert or maybe put colors into it, right? So you could just have maybe a pink if you want, right? And then you can just move it on the branch. Now the beauty of this is once you have one, you can keep on repeating it or keep on copying it. So I have here Control C, Control V, so that this other shape here, I could just again turn it around, right? So that it could just be close to that part. So it's getting to look nicer, right? And then and then of course here another scribbling on my end, right? And usually I create one and I just copy paste, like Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V to just make repeated images or shapes, right? So again, I find insert, then the line, scribble here as perfect for, let's say, drawing again another shape, maybe like leaves, maybe a leaf, right? So I don't know, maybe you are better at this. So see, you could just, but, and if you're not satisfied, you can always click del or delete, right? So you could just have delete here, right? If you don't want that, okay? So, and then you can continue, right? So this is how I was able to do this, okay? So one, and then I can just Control C, Control V, and I can make more if I want, and then I could just change the color, make it smaller if I want to. Okay, so have fun exploring all the editing tools here. Mine is not complete, but at least if I can see 6 effects or 6 changes to the original, then you get the full marks for this. So have fun doing this part one. Okay, so we're done with part one. So how about part two here? Essential questions. So something about here. What do we have here? The first question here, part two. It says here, 10 marks. Create Google Slides to answer the following essential questions. Use your own words. So, how does our vision compare to an owl? Remember that we are now moving into the new unit of interactions within ecosystems, and is there is a central character really that we are focusing on. It would be the owl, and of course, the striking feature of the owl would always be its eyes. So this unit makes a good connection also to the grade eights, especially when they are into cells and body systems, when they are into optics, because the focus that would be on the eyes. Now, with you, grade sevens, let's consider more of the idea of predator prey relationships, okay? And the owl definitely is one great predator, like it preys on smaller animals as part of its diet, right? So, how does it do that? Something to do with its vision, right? Like it is particularly a very useful organ so that it could really hunt down its prey. So, a good question would be, how does our vision compare to an owl? So, this is one of the questions that I have for part two. There are the other questions here. What is a pellet? How do pellets form? What is inside a pellet? Are pellets important? If yes, why? No, why? Okay. Now let's deal here with the first question. Now, when you are on your own, you can easily just Google on the answers, right? But let me just give you the four reasons to this question, or four answers to this first essential question. One would be on binocular vision, bi meaning two. So owls have binocular vision just like we do. This means that they can see things with both eyes at the same time. The advantage of binocular vision is better depth perception than other animals who don't see things with both eyes at the same time. So let me just make it bigger. I click on percent here. Okay. Another thing also would be the number of cones and rods. Now, owls need to have strong eyesight during the night, as many are most active during that time. In our own eyes, we have cells called rods and cones. This work in different light to help us see. Cones are better for brighter light and help us see in color, while rods are able to process light and movement within darker environments. So owls have many more rods than cones in their eyes. So that's why they are efficient hunters, right? And another thing is vision flexibility. Now, unlike us, I mean, owls cannot move their eyes. So you can just move your eyes left and right, especially if you don't know the answer to a question, right? Or if something catches your attention, you kind of move your eyes, and sometimes even accompanied with the movement of your head, right? Now, their eyes are shaped like tubes that are held in place by bones called sclerotic rings. So, in order to see more than just what's directly in front of them, they need to move their heads. Lucky for them, they have incredible flexibility to do this. Just imagine owls can move their head 270 degrees. So this is 180 degrees, left, right. But 270, a quarter more, right? Like that. Not quite the full 360 degrees, but then pretty close, right? Now, eyelids. Interestingly, owls have three eyelids. The top one closes when they blink, while the lower one closes when they sleep. The third one is called the nictitating membrane. Let me repeat that. Nictitating membrane. It closes diagonally across the eye to protect the surface of their eyes. Now, that's for the first question. And then later on, you have here what is a pellet? How do pellets form? What's inside a pellet? Are pellets important? Yes or no? And why? Now, to help you out, still in the presentation mode, if you click on this, it brings you up to another browser or new page, and everything is here. So again, I want you to read through all the information here so that when you get back to your initial page, right, you can now try and insert slides as you answer the question. Okay, so when you are on part two, so how do you insert a slide? So again, you go to you can always right click, right, and then new slide. So you now have a blank page, and then a new slide again. So easily right click, new slide. So this would now be where you are to type down your answers to this question. So this is what part two is all about. So you're going to create Google Slides so that you have a space where to answer the questions. Okay. So here, after creating, so you can have their essential question one, and then here you can put your answer. Okay. Do that. So part two. Now, part three is when you do the interesting part of the activity. So hopefully I can book the learning commons or the library so that all the grade sevens would be there rather than doing it in split rooms. So for me, it's better so that I could see everyone and I can monitor your movement with the dissection tools. So you need to be very careful. So again, for those who are not in class or who are not in school, there is the virtual owl palette dissection site that I can give out anytime so that you can also try it out or at least view it with your eyes how everything is done. Now, this one, of course, before doing this part three, there is the actual lab or the actual experiment. So we'll do that and then later on come back to the class and we will review your findings. So here, for instance, this might be some of the examples of the shapes of bones that you may be uncovering as you peel off the layers of the owl pellet, right? So it says here, get the owl pellet dissection plate. So there would be plates handed out per one student. So I want you to, after doing the peeling of the layers, right? You're ready to sort out the bones that you have collected. So sometimes you get more of this, right? So I want you to count how many you found and then write the number on the yellow box. So here, if you are in, if I click escape here, so here, let's say maybe you found 10, so you're going to write down 10 there, right? Or 15. So or one only, then it's easy to just put in the numbers there. Okay, so you do that. And then how about on this other side? Let me make this bigger again. Click on percent. So it says here, drag and drop the names of the bones. Maybe, um, so here, skull, you know this for sure, right? So you know the name of this bone would be the skull. Now the other shapes, try and connect it. If it looks like this, like your pelvic bone, like the scapula, right? So, and or the pelvic bone is here, right? Or thoracic vertebrae, radius, ulna, so different things. So sometimes, based on the shape, you can easily just associate it with this. So if you saw it, so you're going to drag and drop the check mark to that part of the prey or the animal. So escape, let me press escape. So here maybe you saw a skull, so drag and drop with a check mark there, okay? So you found the other parts maybe, so, and then you can just put a check mark on top, okay? But this is to be done after we've gone through the owl pellet dissection. So I think that's it, and I hope this is going to be an exciting activity for the month of November till December. So no rush. Let's just take our time, take our moments, right? And I hope we will all have fun with this owl activity. Okay, so that's it. And as always, let's all take care of ourselves. No rush. There are other activities that you can just do in science. Okay? Ciao for now.